Luchov in good form. DGT can have his moments too, so it starts to become a scary rifling core. They'll keep all 5 alive as Furia will allow them to easily secure their first round, 3-1. Hot water with the finances, and that'll have flow-on effects, so we'll see if it can be consecutive. Man with a long spawn this time going for the pick. And he's got company.
Yeah, okay. Fallen's got a test on his hands for his long holds. One's already made it out to blue bin. And it's Wasso.
So where's the response? Is it upper tunnels push? Is it a mid-doors jaunt? Because you've definitely lost this control.
Nerdy mid-retake util from Yukinda to flush out anyone tucked Xbox, and now Fallen is going to confirm, yeah, body's long. Body's long.
The fact he smoked doors told me he didn't have that information. Now he definitely does. And they're quick on this. This is rapid.
Okay, Luchov fancies his chances on that cross smoke and go.
Already across?
Running across, knife out, gets across to the ramp side. Safe passage secure. Oh, he digs another. Nearly 2 from Fallen's. Good output on the M4A1. Yukinda hiding out on the back of sight. Should be set to collect here. Flash connected, vision restored, and mantling up to expose Molodoi. Another one onto Keisaratu available. He slips into the smoke. They've lost him in the source. It's Yukinda back sight. Run down by Luchov. A site seized. Long collapses, and a triple out of Luchov.
Well, Yuri in the clutch. Not to be sneezed at.
Alô. Eita, lasqueira.
A little bit of a look in.
Que caiu tudo do beijinho aqui.
That was the fight. Down to 2 HP. Brutal. 1 on DGT.
Voltemos. Calma, deu tudo certo. Ai.
We'll have a glance.
Calma, gente. Não está
Back off for another save. So he's got money to drop it all. Money for
Até me desconcentrei.
Could get it himself, really, as
he gets away.
Yeah, Yuri will dart out of there. Okay, 3-2.
Não está tendo tempo muito bom lá no Rio, e aí a internet do beijinho foi com Deus. Mas aí, ó, piscou, os caras fizeram 2 pontos para cima da Fúria. 2 pontos.
All right, well, you have guns again. With a good spawn if he wants to operate for a mid-pick or maybe even try and push into lower tunnels. Man's getting boosted by Max again. The orb starting B from Molodoi. I mean, it's a different looking setup from Furia.
Yeah, Molodoi is actually going for like a eye to the scope clear of upper tons, or getting on a deeper line at least. Flash doors, Luchov clears out the left side. It's safe to mantle up the Xbox. Especially now, short cleared out with the flame.
Por enquanto, só as trocas das utilitárias. Utilitária de lá, utilitária de cá.
So the expectation from Furia was a late long play. That's why Keisaratu, one of the B defenders, started as an unknown piece.
E mais utilitária.
Something a little bit more standard. It's Molodoi aggressive in the upper tunnels. Has fallen. Presses in.
Se encontrar.
Where was the flash? It didn't.
Rossopek levou o Fallen.
Looked like it was a really well-coordinated opening gambit, but instead you've lost Fallen. He hydrates himself, and Yukinda readies
Nossa, Kindar desconfia, cara. Ele viu a cabeça. Tomou daninho pra HE. Cuidado de Kindar. Nossa, Kindar tá queimando. Nossa, Kindar queimou. E vai avançando. Os jogadores da navezeta plantando a bomba.
You know the loss bonus is 2,400 into the next. You haven't seen Keisaratu, so here's this piece at long. You're wondering where Molodoi is. Well, should be informed if the AWP hasn't rattled off. It has to be sacked towards B, and now it's protect the president. So Molodoi
tem que desconfiar.
To just hold on to their guns. Keisaratu, he is going to get
Yuri
some
tá olhando ali, mas ele tem que desconfiar que tem um cara querendo ir ali. Keisaratu é levado. Porém, caiu outros 2 da navezeta.
Yuri will be able to drop. I think a timeout from Sid. The fact that you've lost 3 straight rifle rounds.
Deixa eu mexer um teteco no som, gente.
while you still have this ult before
Eu
it gets
esqueci que eu tinha
removed,
aumentado um
take the
teteco,
time,
né?
have a chat, and see what you can piece together. If you partial buy behind these, Yuri is in a position where he could drop an M4 and then he'll still have enough
Tá bom
money
o
next round,
som.
so they can make it slightly more
Que tá, né?
threatening as Yakinda. There's nothing that can be done for him either. K-Sero doesn't have any util to flash behind him for the fight.
Yeah, and an unusual flub on the flash there from K-Serato did result in Fallen not having the fight he was expecting.
But this is a great response, right? The pistol round, it looks quite dominant with that and the conversions. And now it's back the other way. Looks like we were getting a competitive map. Now this is the saved AWP, the saved M4, and some light upgrades around it. 2900 lost into the next. Have everything they need. So they have every round Fury have played, they are competitive with the buy.
Yes. Now just need to be competitive with the guns.
Yes. And
E os caras conseguiram empatar, hein?
Boost him up. Let's go for a short pick. Let's play into lower tunnels if we can.
Que legal, que legal.
He goes
Out long again.
straight out long does DGT. Oh, and Fallen gets pantsed. K-Serato, what have you got? Too many men on his screen.
Caio Caserato, Caio Fallen. Nossa, os caras tá com a mira tirada hoje. O Max tá com nada de vida, tá com 1 de vida. Molodói, desconfie. Desconfie, Molodói.
Comprehensive stuff coming out from 9Z in the early stages.
Yakinda departing tunnels.
Molodói is committed.
Mais utilitárias. Molodói devolve essas utilitárias.
He has to take a chance.
Tem avançando, Molodói. Toma cuidado, o Mayerne tá mirado.
Didn't quite connect it. Now gets run down, sprayed down. Max will find it on the second pull. Okay, Yuri doing everything he can to try and delay this, but there's just so much time left. They're chilling. Yakinda's going to call for, or rather, Yuri's going to call for the flash. Yakinda's the one to throw it.
Yeah, they're letting Quas up, lurk over towards B and clear that out. I doubt they're going to rotate around the world, but just see if he can
Cai Molodói.
threat from behind. You've still got time.
Now smoke and fade.
E esse bendito desse... Ah, caiu Yuri.
They took long and they just waited the whole round, right? And
5-1. Tudo nas costas do Yakindar agora. Desconfia Yakindar, ele viu. Toma um HS. Pelo menos ele consegue levar um, né? Tirou uma arma ali. Oh, os caras é patrocinado pela Shell, hein? Pela Shell e pela Monster.
When they got those long spawns, they're taking them.
Ai, ai.
4 on the trot.
E vamos seguindo, e vamos seguindo. Vai ter um enfrentamento ali, ó.
Interesting flash to kind of catch the high-low setup.
Exactly, right? The teams like to run that to play against anti-pop.
Tenta Caserato, mas não tem ninguém ali.
Rally of Flames up short for the control and just this pack roll again from 9Z.
Molodói does get caught by that flashbang. Pressure applied. Max burns down half health.
This time the flash lands. There's no one home. Here they come.
Seguem todos os jogadores vivos por enquanto o Molodói leva o Max. Yakinar leva o House Pack. Mas Mayerne leva o Yakindar.
Lushov at least gets across, but the bomb's on Mayen's back. This gets really uncomfortable real quick. Serato up close. Molodói as well. You've got to start planting, Mayen. Lushov, nothing.
Lushov vai tentar sorte, mas o Fallen devolve, o Yuri devolve. E finalizamos em comemoração ao ponto da fúria. O que eu vou fazer? É o horário de ontem, o mesmo horário de ontem daquela famosa. A que te dá asas. Vocês não vão ouvir, mas eu faço as honras pra vocês, tá bom?
So they will just operate with something a bit more standard. They go for the boost, he rises off the shot, but at the ready, Molodoi wants to take the fight.
Copinho sempre com gelo. E... Dale, 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 oh. Hoje é diferente, hein? Dale, 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 oh. Fúria do meu coração. Foi. O jogo. Deixar aqui o gelinho fazendo o maravilhoso efeito dele enquanto a gente vai seguindo. Nada aconteceu ainda, mas vai ter um enfrentamento ali agora. O Fallen cega ali, cheirando a parede, esperando a hora. E vai avançando aos pouquinhos. Os jogadores da 9Z, enquanto isso aqui em Dara, ó. Ele sabe, ele viu. Tomou HS. Cai Molodoi também. Opa, escapou, hein? Quase tomou ali um na cuca. Desconfia aí, Kindar. O cara não viu! Ô, louco! Max pega o Yekindar. Dá soca Cerato Yuri vivo. Dupla Yurato. E nada por enquanto.
I think another man who's frustrated. I've just put myself in Fallen shoes.
Yeah.
How long was he staring at that wall? A good 30, 40 seconds.
And it was the right call.
And he was right.
Eles vão guardar. Não tem muito o que fazer.
Yeah.
I think that's 9Z have, with their default and Mayan's AWP have kind of put a leash on those
Ai, meu Deus. É duro, mas a gente vai indo, ai. Olha que interessante, ô. Vocês viram ali? Mousepad. 5, 9 Zeta. 4 pra Dona Fúria. Vamos desistir não, turma. Tá só começando.
Have long spawns again. I think at this point it's, well, you haven't stopped us. Let's just keep taking them. A response. This is where Fallen and Sid kind of have to agree. Okay, do we want to start 4 long? Right? How do we want to try and be aggressive in the lower tunnels? Do we want to do a short boost or a short play?
Maybe Fallen does with no nades and an MP9. Oh no, he's just going to start with a 3-2.
But they're already out. So they're just going to do the same thing again. You bring everybody back, park the bus at long, use your util. Siphon all their nades, right? Okay, you can have upper tunnels.
Yep.
As long as DGT doesn't get caught, you can just finish the round through long.
Nossa, essa câmera... eu ia falar a câmera do DGT tá meio estranha, né? Mas é porque ela tava selecionada e aí ela fica meio opaca. Falando nele, acabou de cair. Agora o Asopec a gente não consegue ver a câmera dele não, porque ele tá cheirando a câmera igual o Yekindar cheira. A câmera, né? A tela. Cai o Fallen, foi pego ali, ó, transicionando. Eu achei que o Molodoi ia desconfiar. Achei mesmo. Mas ele escutou. Ele viu, ele sabe na direção que os caras tá. Desconfia que tem um aí embaixo junto com você. Ai, meu Deus. Caiu o Cacerato. O Molodoi leva o Max. Cacerato leva o Rosopec. Segue só o Mayorn vivo contra o Yuri, o Yekindar e o Molodoi. Só com 5 de vida. Errou. E é isso. Pá.
But Furia
Travou-lhe.
prove that they can beat these
Travou-lhe,
all-in
travou-lhe.
That is with a compromised buy there, right?
O
So
que acontece?
this is a confidence building round. Let's see if they can make it consecutive. Haven't seen that from the Brazilian core since the pistol. Using the long spawns again. Luchov on the way. Corner smoke in the mix. Auto starting car. They will concede it. What a luxury to have long. I understand they didn't convert it off of last round, but still, to have long at the start of every round like this is beautiful.
And a nightmare fuel for a CT side. You have to adapt.
Just how many long spawns they've had as well. We tend to talk about it.
Oh, missed shot. Awkward for Molodoi. And look at the help. Fallen was trying to lend a hand.
Vamos mudar de novo. Eu vim ver aqui, esqueci de voltar, hein? A Dora tá miando na porta.
They still have that long control, but they're rerouting towards B. Cacerado will have to link up with Yuri. They're in a bit of a...
Is Luchov making a play on the smoke? He is. Here's the steps of Cacerata reacting to that B util. It was a Molotov thrown that he'll try.
Vamos abrir a porta pra Dora.
Smoke as well. A block would be well timed.
If he jump spots, ooh, gets the info. Mayan was not on the double scope.
He's fallen ready for Luchov out. Has to know it's a possibility. This will have been communicated, but a reroute now from 9Z.
He's hearing all of this.
It's not that long presence. So if they can push back short, they really can toy with the rotations right now.
Yeah, it's just the time. 40 seconds for 9Z to try and find this finish, try and post that sixth.
Molodoi still has a lot of util. And Yukinder and Fallen both have something to block with as well over towards A.
Yeah, I think 9Z may have rocked the clock a little too much here.
Drop it.
He's holding on to it, showing such restraint. Mantles up, wants to punish the smoke walk if they dare. Easy pick for Yukinder.
Voltei. Vamos dar uma organizada. Perdi o que eu perdi. Cacerata acabou de cair, Molodoi acabou de cair. E segue trocando e Fallen cai também. Mas e aqui leva o Razopek.
Losing Luchov's awkward makes it a 2-on-2 and now planting, he's going to lose his life for it. Gets the bomb down, says Mayan, I need you to clutch.
Caramba, ia ficar tão bonito se desse certo.
On his way and wow, tags him.
Doeu, hein? Aqui dar. Tomou uma de... A W ficou só com 4 de vida. Lembrando que daqui a pouquinho vai ter também a Fúria no Rainbow Six. E eu vou confirmar o horário para vocês bem certinho. Meio-dia e meio a Fúria do Rainbow Six joga.
Still, a lot of these rounds coming down to the dying stages. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, Molodoi really hasn't had a lot of action with the opening fights. It's his teammates losing territory, and then he's been in uncomfortable positions. Being an AWP at top A and your team losing shore in multiple rounds, that sucks.
Yeah. Here's that util combo. They break the smoke in unison with a Xbox Molotov. Just trying to really limit any early presence. Another smoke break. Coordination from Furia.
Yeah, I like that one.
Has Luchov legs down to 14 HP. Plenty of nades and plenty of time. Fangs of Furia to hold B here, and they're just going for another one of their signature contact walks, but Yuri was unprepared.
Caiu Yuri.
He gets absolutely nothing, and now Cacerata
O Cacerado quase leva o Max, mas consegue levar o DGT.
And a retake you know they're going for.
Mas cai também.
You better have your plan, hold on to that molly as long as you can.
So Molodoi is going to be the man to throw the util. It's going to have to be Fallen and Yukinder to breach, then the AWP comes in late. Everything in the kitchen sink being thrown right now.
Gente, que desenho engraçado que o Gelo tá fazendo. Deixa eu tirar uma foto. Opa, caiu o Fallen, caiu o Ekindar. Fica só o Molodoi vivo, ele tem que defusar essa bomba. E...
as we swap sides.
Ponto para a Fúria. Bomba defusada. Dá uma olhada nesse gelo, olha que estranho. Ele fez uns riscos. Na verdade, umas faixas. Tá ligado? Não sei por que você fica brava. A porta.
It's like a hero returning.
It feels like everyone's winning right now.
It's a hero returning. You know, there's confetti.
The parade down the street.
People are throwing flowers into the street.
Oh, we love you, Fallen. We love you. All right, here we go. Back underway. 4-man A start for the defense. 9Z. And into lower tunnels is Luchov. They're ready for this.
They are. They couldn't be more ready. Look at the setup. Here comes the flash. Everyone's anti. And who gets those kills? It's May and Molodoi. Back and forth. Quick one back. DGT connecting. Yuri struggling.
Committed to this now. You got to fight your way out.
Headshot hit by Keisarato's Glock. And it's a Goosh that DGT wants to run away from. Masso's just standing his ground here, playing the headshot angle as DGT. They are stubborn for this long fight. It's going to be determined right here and now in the deathmatch on long. You've got a clutch available, Yuri. You've got the bomb, but you
Cai o
haven't really got
Cacerato.
health.
Trocamos, né? Agora a Fúria tá no TR.
And plenty of time for you to play this game.
Yeah, you can see here the fact that he's clearing these angles. He doesn't know where both players are exactly, and going to beat him on rotation is DGT, but DGT is low.
And he's not so sure either. Not rushing, not as loud or as fast as he could be over there.
Oh, you'd love to be able to get the plant out of this somehow, but with both players cheating over towards the B bomb side, and Yuri's pivot into lower tunnels. Okay, hold up a second. I think some complication into the mix. He jumps up short. He won't be spotted right now with the current setup. And then the bomb can go down, which will facilitate a much stronger second round. But let's not rule the clutch out just
Só tá o Yuri vivo contra o DGT e o Luchov. Lukov? Será que é Lukov?
To the X's on the radar, all those corpses that lit along. Now it's where does he plant for? You'd assume, did somebody stay around? Did they push?
Oh, so much uncertainty for Yuri.
It's in now. Single box
Ele vai
plants.
plantar.
He can't play this from long, at least not easily.
Consegue plantar. Confia que tem alguém subindo por ali. Leva o Lukov.
That's the hard work done. DGT's low. 2 kills deep from him, sure, but a single bullet either way. Gonna be the differentiating factor here.
Concentradaço, ó. Pior que ele também vê o jogo igual o Cacerato. O Cacerato não, o Wood aqui em né, cara? Yuri leva o DGT. A bomba já ia cantar mesmo. E mais um ponto para a nossa querida Fúria. Olha o beat.
Insane work from Yuri, Mr. Clutch, steps up big time. And then you have to question Luchov in this. Right, you have the low HP of DGT. It's a 2v1 situation. You send the ward in first, the canary in the coal mine, and then you trade. But no, he's played ahead on his own. And right now we are B rushing. There is a P90 in the mix.
P90 alert. Awooga. We got a P90 B rush. And Fallen's already drawn first blood. Mayan gets caught out on that Mag 10 spam, and you can stick a fork in this one.
That's round. 9-5. Treating this one like a job right now of Furia. Now that's happened damn quick, so we'll back off and try and retain what they're forced in with.
It's one hell of a way from the clutch in the pistol to your second round all-in B rush. That's a, like, come on, you're calling Counter-Strike rounds, Chad. You got to be like, that's a pretty gangster call.
It is. It's so risky, right? That you run through.
Bomba já tá plantada.
Multiple players stacking there. Everyone gets mowed down. Kinda puts the Tech-9 to good use. Takes another one of these upgrades away. So this is making their next round of play an awfully lot easier.
Some Renegade stickers on that Tech-9.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
Big fan.
Maybe he thinks they're cool.
That's probably it.
Said no one ever. All right. Do they rush B again? Obviously not. Actually, why not?
You do have a P90.
Yeah. And he has the good spawn again.
Has he really?
Where's your skins gone, Molidoy?
Yeah, he's doing 0 skin challenge
You're
or
doing
something.
the new Elish.
Just gloves.
Looking to clamp down on mid and... Oh, okay. Look, trying to subvert the expectation. The plan was to play with these flashes that Mayan has on mid, but maybe a little bit disconnected from the understanding was Kwasao. This will be a farm fest as...
I just want to see P9 get a kill, man.
Well, maybe he'll keep it for you next round.
Yeah.
It's hard to see Molido being a fan of Stargate, so...
I did see there's a guy who's dedicated his Counter-Strike life to playing P90 only. He's got 18,000 stat track kills.
Okay.
Pretty good.
What did he do on the pistol round?
Great question. CZ75.
Aha. Likes to finish quick, does this guy? Lots of bullets. All right. Waterfall smoke, CT smoke. Going to send Molido out. He wants to get a kill on the P90 as well. Flash forward, the SMGs.
This is the scouting party.
The man and his mentor is...
Oh, what is that? Luchov's hit it from ramp.
Get it, man. Someone's got to use it.
Something better than nothing.
Max is here with a 5-7.
Yeah. Oh, just as the smoke faded the time, it couldn't be any worse. Oh.
All right, Max, a 1v4. And they're definitely going to clear. 25 fallen. We'll have a fantastic round 3 for him.
Leva Max.
His rank 10's looking pretty spicy.
I think he just has some frustrations he wants to get after being bullied over towards long in that first half. So this is a huge gap, 5 rounds. And that's both pistols for Furia. 6 on the trot when you consider the first half ended.
10 a 5 para a Fúria. Eita, está travando?
They need to get going and now.
Tá
They want to
travando?
have any say in this map. There's no AWP available for Mayan. Molido will bring out his.
Estranho. Voltou. Tá voltando normal?
The Mac 10 and Full
Pra mim
actually
tava
has a very good
travando a
long spawn
câmera.
if they want to exploit
Ó, parece que
the
voltou
random
normal.
Well, long's been a real recurring theme.
This is where if you're 9Z going into the first gun and you don't have the AWP,
Aí voltou normal, parece.
I wouldn't mind if they were to do something a little bit more gambly. A 1-4 setup just to win the long control. All boosted on Molidoy.
Ooh, wow.
Okay. How about that? So Max limping immediately.
Tudo encaminhado pra Fúria ganhar, né, galera? Só falta isso.
We get the combination of Yukinda, Top Cat with Yuri pressing the lower tunnels in a moment to start working on this mid and short control. TGT's been having a bit of a rough go of things. His death in upper tunnels against that half by with the saved guns. It's one that I bet he wishes he could put back in the bottle. Both teams on their CT sides, giving their opponents a lot of room. 40 seconds.
Blocked long, blocked mid. DGT, this could be a bit of a redemption arc brewing.
There'll be a flash here, surely.
Yeah, there is. Underhand, turn, reposition, eat the second. Just a dead man. Serato books him. Nice chip in. Luchov stems the bleed onto Yuri, but they've lost long. Yukinda's made that so. Molidoy, he can find this easy onto Mayan. Oh, and he has. Books him. Job done. Bomb down on A. Mission accomplished, and Max just straight clotheslined by the Galil to finish off the job that Molidoy's AWP started at the very start of this round. Luchov going to be trying to hold on to his prized possession in the Kalashnikov.
Oh, you're boxed in, buddy.
Yeah, that lurk smoke is kind of terrifying. How frustrating. He wants to focus his attention towards B doors, but he knows at any moment his attention's elsewhere. He could just be walking on through. But yeah, I mean, this is what, practically flawless from Furia here.
Yeah, that opening kill in middle was onto DGT, who is the A rotating rifler. So that also facilitates the call to go back in towards the A finish, knowing that they're likely split 2-2. So Luchov back a plat. be just allowed to retain that AK.
Saw Molodoi coming.
Yeah. All right. Well, out of chances now, 9Z. The underarm essentially was the bait.
Right. Because you think you got your timing down, return your aim.
And you cop it in the face.
Genius.
Good to see Fallen smiling.
Oh, it's only an M4 spam in the cross. I guess I could just jump across. Oh, there's some damage, but there's a frag bag. That's the Luchov saved AK put to use. Well, handed off to Huaso with the health.
All right, how can this one get weird?
Kind of already has. You got 2 rifles with armor. You got your opening kill.
You have 2 players quite low on HP, so gambling 3B with that flash, they've been able to cross. The bomb on Fallen looks to join Yuri, and the tail of this is Cacerado. So they're pursuing Corre in the upper tunnels. Here comes the fight.
He wants to go. Should be an easy one for Yuri here. Yeah, delivered to his front door. DGT just the one. Fallen makes it so, and just Mayan. That early damage inflicted has put him down to 25. He's cowering at the back of bricks. Feels like a guarantee he's about to be cleared. Finding output here would be incredible. Not quite the headshot he needed. I have no idea if there's a lurk in the system, so understandably cautious.
Huaso's
going through.
Yeah, you have to.
Go on, lad. Bricks clear. Headshot provided. Takes down Cacerado. Fallen cowering at the back of the site. Attention drawn. Molodoi's there. It's just Luchov that's so disconnected. It's just Huaso versus the world, and he's doing it. Molodoi missed the shot. They know where he's at. Huaso down. Tech9 can do it. Such low HP. It's the Molodoi clutch. Secure. Oh. It got weird, Chad.
It did. I was about to say, I feel for the Bricks player there, man, because Luchov was still alive. So not only, they're on a bit of a hodgepodge buy, nameplate Counter-Strike dictates, oh, we should check for Luchov. But then it's that Huaso play that makes things interesting. 13 kills for him. Molodoi extending out for that fight with his back open. Gets them 12. Oh, this time it's a headshot.
Consistently finding impact on that opening.
Oh, look at the scaling, Cacerado.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, just walk out. Why not?
There is a flash. PGT wins out to necessary clawback. Okay, things return to a balance 4-on-4.
They're out of position. It's tough to capitalize on it, though, when you're all in the choke.
It's so chaotic already. You can see just uncertainty growing in the 9C ranks. Fight. Whoa, that's quick. Huaso thought he had the advantage. Molodoi using that AWP like a rifle. Wasn't expecting a second. 3-on-2. Fallen ready. Fallen gone. Bomb lost. 9Z showing a little bit of resistance here with match point, or map point, excuse me. Up for debate.
Yeah, it's 8 straight. Unless Yuri can win another clutch, that's where it'll stop.
One clutch in the pistol on this T side from Yuri. This one asking an awful lot.
Especially with Luchov all the way back at ramp, ready. He can get the bomb, sure, with the time. DGT. He knows exactly what's up. See you later, Alligator. We'll confirm it. Finally something back on the board for 9Z.
Yeah, is it too little too late? Bit's going to take the opportunity to use his 30 seconds.
And that's just a tough way to start the rounds, right? The fact that they recover that.
Yeah, fair.
Because they're using the HEs. So you go, okay, well, now are we smoking, right? How much are we going to invest in getting cross here? Because Molodoi, he's either tag or a kill frequently so far in this second half of play.
I think it's 3 back-to-back rounds with a connection.
Right now, I can see Molodoi has the best long spawn. He is on an island. The next closest is a little bit further back. But he should at least consider the pick.
Just looks ridiculous even with X-Ray on.
Looks to me, based on the way that Max is facing, that they are going to start heavy A, potentially. It looks like, yeah, they're going to start 4-1.
Just Max going to be trying to block long.
Means they might be aggressive short. Yeah, they are aggressive short.
Team Molly got to respect that, and they are. Oh, we can edge it. That's what that smoke is designed to enable this fight onto the suicide player, but not giving it to him.
Flash doesn't connect, but they've seen enough. Worried about the B and mid to B possibilities. They'll rejig the setup. Kinder will smoke out towards the mid doors. That's going to allow that control to be taken.
It's a well-placed nade. Lands at Molodoy's front door.
Well, short is a gift. So this is the type of round that if you can get the control and acknowledge that, with the amount of util, the smokes especially, this is a scenario where Furia can throw the waterfall smokes, they can throw a mid to B. You could try dropping down into CT, turn it into a B split, but that's where 3 players, the 9Z, find themselves. That's the gamble. The gamble being made when just one round is Furia needing. Oh,
Love smoke.
What's that about?
I mean, this is pressure.
Back to long.
Okay.
Max and Mayan to defend A.
This angle's always good for one. Molodoy clearing at half health, so just a single headshot. Can't find it. Good awareness from Molodoy on the rifle, no less. And Mayan's eating that flashbang for breakfast. Should be the end of Dust 2. And this is 9Z's turf, 9Z's pick, and Furia have had their way with them.
Bad cross smoke. Very bad cross smoke from Molodoy there.
Learned valuable lessons in the head-to-head in Cologne. Clearly looking revitalized here. And that's 13. Furia take 9Z's pick cleanly.
Yeah, that was casual, that was comfortable, and this is looking like a different result. Let's see if Furia can do it in 2.
An absolute smashing, as I think those Brits would say, but for Furia, you can hear the fan bases out here really basking in the first map victory. As I welcome you back to EWC 26, Counter-Strike in full effect. Dust 2 really not going the way 9Z wanted to. It leaves the question, does it leave a lot to be desired for 9Z? I feel like we've seen more output from them at different tournaments. So.
Yeah, that fell a bit flat for 9Z. Naturally, Furia got off to a good start, winning the pistol, converting, and then 9Z kind of took over in the first half. And I thought, when it was swinging rounds together, I believe they won 4 out of 5 rounds in a row, I thought to myself, okay, 9Z, you're here to play, you looked in control. It was a combination of outer spawn calls, you know, fast long takes, and then slowing down the game, and then into the A-bomb side. So it felt like the rounds came from different direction, Peter. It wasn't like a one-trick pony. So to me, that bound well for 9Z. I thought to myself, all right, your T side looks good. You know, you got Furia on the ropes, and then after winning 4 of those 5 rounds, they just shut down. Got nothing done whatsoever. You know, good judgment coming in for Furia, and at that point, it looked like, again, 2 teams on completely different levels.
I really feel like 9Z lost himself a little bit along the way. Up until this last round we just witnessed in regulation, then I actually feel like the scoreline lied a little bit. I think the game was way closer than it was supposed to be. But turning the attention to the T side, I'm a bit disappointed with what 9Z managed to get out of that. You know, they had so many good opportunities to get more rounds, and they lost themselves a little bit when it came to like those very important XVX situations and the clutch situation, right? They didn't really get that one going for them, but they also gave them a little bit too much space sometimes. But sure, you're also gonna give credit to Furia for bailing themselves out of those situations. That is what you're gonna have when you have such quality players. But in hindsight, you know, I think 9Z will be looking at this game thinking we should have gotten way more out of what we just achieved.
Yeah, and I kind of hate to do it. It's not that I want to, you know, single out a player and be like, it's your fault, you know, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't highlight what I spoke about coming into the game as well. Mayan with the AWP on the side of 9Z, a non-factor in this game. There were a couple of rounds where he was left in 1v1s and 1v2s and 3v3s where he had opportunities of hitting the shots and maybe swinging the round in the favor of 9Z. Got nothing done in this game, to be completely honest. A bit of a stinker for him, unfortunately for Mayan. On the other side, Molodoy off to a bit of a slow start, but then he picked it up. He went 5 for 5 in opening kills. I think he finished with, what, plus 80 ADR as well. And you could just see the clear difference in the 2, right? So I feel like that's where the vast majority of the difference came from. You have one up on one side, Molodoy, who installs a bit of fear in the opponent, who's winning opening kills, and who's actually getting the job done. Whereas for Mayan, unfortunately, this time around, couldn't really quite stand the test of time against Furia.
Yeah, and I look at the round timeline and I think, okay, yeah, you don't win the pistol, you don't really give yourself a shot in the game if you're 9Z at a certain point. But I guess as far as the rounds go, Dupree, this is definitely one in the second half.
Yeah, one of those things that also disappoints me a little bit, you know, is the pistol around how they managed to play this, because, you know, it's 7-5 Furia, and if 9Z gets this pistol, you know, they're definitely back in the game and they can take control. But again, Gotta give Yuri, he's a phenomenal clutch, and he really well plays his round super well. You know, spends the entirety of the clock. He has 1 minute. He rotates all the way back into lower tunnels, really utilizing the time and making his opponent guess where they are. And as you can tell right now, U90 is already committed to the fact that he probably went B, which makes sense, right? But this is the mistake that I really don't like from Luchov. He's playing way too far ahead from GT, and at this point, good shot from Yuri, but he just leaves his teammate in a situation that is almost unsalvageable. And it's sad because the only thing Luchov had to do in this given situation, with the fact that he came up catwalk so fast, was to just play the contain. If he just jumped for information, try to figure out where Yuri went, he could just have waited for his teammate. Maybe Yuri would probably still have gotten the frag, but then at least GTC had a chance of refragging, right? So it's these type of mistakes that you just can't allow yourself to be making when you play a team like Furia.
Such a weird round, because it started off by being a deathmatch round on long, you know. I think, what, 8 or 9 players were fighting against each other back and forth, and none of them were willing to back down. And then, as you said, Yuri ends up in a 1v2, and I feel like 9C does everything correct up until the point, as you described right here, where Luchov is sticking his head a little bit too far ahead. They were rotating together. They were walking 2 towards B. They were walking 2 back towards A, right? Playing in a pair, playing in a pack, and I like that approach to it. It's just, when you then had to close out the round, when you then found out where Yuri is, that's when you start to make the mistakes. So it felt like 9C, for whatever reason, weren't really playing up to par, weren't playing up to the level that we've seen, you know, the last couple of weeks, especially in China, but also in the opening game against Pain. And Furia, they have the class in order to punish that. And I like that. You know, I like when a good team is coming into a game where whenever a mistake is being offered to you, you make damn sure that you punish it, and so Furia did.
You talk about pairs and packs, and I've got a head-to-head for you guys. Peak and Yuri, in terms of what they were providing. I mean, we looked at this and talked about Peak before the match. So where did we find this situation after?
Yeah, not his best game. You know, I said coming into it, he was the highest-rated player on LAN ever since the summer break. You know, small sample size, sure, but still playing exceptionally well. This game, he didn't get to do much. Didn't have a bad game. It wasn't his fault, I felt, but you could expect a bit more from him. And then Yuri, who, I mean, last year in 25, he was one of the main reasons why Furia was starting to win trophies. He was overperforming to some extent. Then in the beginning of 26, he was tampering a bit off, and it's been a bit up and down. But if there's one thing you know you always get with Yuri, it's the clutch ability. We saw it in the pistol. We saw his stability on the server as well. And I guess in a game like this, you know, you win 1 or 2 clutches, well, you've done your job.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I also just want to praise Furia for, specifically the Brazilians, right? Namely, Kesrado, Yuri. They're just so consistent. Like, you can kind of always rely on them. They will always seem to be having a good game, and even if the games where they drop off a little bit, you know, they still get their frag from time to time. It's not like they just completely disappear.
The impossible doesn't happen overnight. It happens in the hours nobody sees. It starts with a thought that turns into a dream. Reach your impossible. The impossible doesn't happen overnight. It happens in the hours nobody sees. It starts with a thought that turns into a dream. Reach your impossible.
Mirage. Let's start talking about the second match of this, second map of the series, because 9Z currently aren't in the server, and we're going to need them to show up in a better form than they've got currently. I can assure you that much.
Yeah, it's definitely a map where they can play Counter-Strike at a high level as well. We've seen that. The track record is somewhat decent for 9C, so it is for Furia. They had a time, you know, a couple of months ago where the results were kind of swinging for them. You know, it was inconsistent, which is atypical for Furia, but I feel like they found a bit of that consistency. Mirage was a great map for them during Cologne, competitive in all the games on it, despite not winning every single one of them. So I see no reason why I shouldn't expect the same level coming out for Furia. I think Molodoi usually plays well on a map like Mirage as well. Kesrado gets some of his best job done on this specific map as well. I see no weakness in Furia, whereas for 9C, again, if you play the level you just showed here in Dust 2, sure, the first couple of buy rounds in the first half were great, but again, it tempered out during the series. It tempered out during the map. You need to be playing well for 30 minutes and not just 5.
Yeah, and it's the Furious best map, you know. So it's really all in their own hands, right? And I still think that 9C has something to prove. Like, I don't think they necessarily, like, tactical-wise played like a bad Dust 2. I think they will have a chance of bouncing back, but they need to get off to a better start and winning a pistol from the get-go, and then obviously converting the clutches and allow Furia to have all these situations where the star players can really come in shining. So, you know, it's it's a little bit disappointing, but I still believe that 9Z has a saying in this.
Yeah, I don't. I just saw the Fury manager walking with 2 bags of Joe and the Juice. It's game over. You know?
It's over.
It's over.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. Yeah, 9Z Fury is still going to go toe-to-toe here. We got Mirage in front of us in what is the Group D upper bracket semifinal with playoff contention in line. Yeah, gentlemen, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and head to that break. When we come back, we jump into Mirage, Nuke if we need it on the other side of that. You're watching the Esports World Cup 2026.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
The very last of the upper bracket games, just looking to see if Furia or 9Z are going to be the ones securing that spot in those playoffs here today. Furia took themselves up a very convincing dust too, and that was 9Z's turf, so rocking and roll into Mirage. A rematch from Cologne, is it going to go the same way?
Yeah, this could be a quick 2-0, couldn't it? That was quite dominant from Furia. There was a patch, though, where 9Z, they looked themselves. It was the first half. Yeah. Let's see if they can pick that up now into Mirage, where they'll be on the CT side of Furia's map choice. As you mentioned, the last of the upper bracket games, we had G2, Game Allegiant, Falcons, FaZe, Bait, Foot, and Na'Vi already secure their spots. One more to make it 8, and then tomorrow, well, we'll be adding a bunch more. Actually, today there's a couple more games as well. We've got Spirit versus Big later. We've got Aurora as well, taking to the server to see if they can bounce back from their opening loss. They'll be taking on Gigi Hao, which was the team that actually took down Spirit in that best of one. So all eyes there as Aurora start to show us what they've got as far as the international Counter-Strike is concerned. But let's focus back in South American Counter-Strike on display here. Max, the in-game leader, with a lot to say. Sid, coach of Furia. Quickly talk through the positions that you're expecting to see this 9Z defense. You should have Max over towards the B side. You're going to have Luchop playing towards short. Man, it'll be the Orpus, so floating around connector, window short, wherever the hell he really wants, to be honest. That's going to leave DGT playing connector, and then Hwasao playing over towards A. At XSC, they played this map a couple of times. Obviously, different levels of opponents. They won it twice, lost it once, and the loss was to Tyloo. The wins were over MIBR and Paravision. So that fills you with a little bit of confidence. Paravision win, but at the same time, that's when they had Hobbit and they had New Boy, Slaxajez.
Just kind of getting himself acclimatized to the environment as well.
Here's the thing, so many teams made roster changes in the offseason, just none of the big names.
Yes.
So there was a lot of musical chairs, just nothing that's really drawing a huge amount of attention. I think BCG took the cake with that Mzinho move, and we saw them playing in the open qualifier, where they were unable to get through that gauntlet of a bracket they got left with. Here we go, underway. Lots of utility brought out for Fury into this, and straight over towards B for what will be an execute, a 3-man stack, and they boosted up.
Mayan's playing for that one and dip. And the crouch from K-Serato. He dips under the bullet. And Max unable to track the jump in. K-Serato, layer of flashes, does actually manage to connect while blind. And now Luchov's done significant damage to Fallen without the Kevlar. The Kinder's here. Luchov onto Fallen, and Max actually worming through that smoke. He's looking for Yakinda. Good awareness. They both go down. A quick sequence of clicks from Yakinda pulls us back. And now it's awkward. Super uncomfortable. Glock at range, working for Yuri. Wasso, a quick 1-2. Tap to the dome. Puts him dead. They're going to fight together, aren't they? Look at them getting closer and closer. Yuri's going to have a back turn. Yep, easy pickings. Furia start off with the pistol. And rather convincing from Yakinda for a moment there. It looked like it had started dreamily.
Yeah, let's get that from his POV if we can, please, DJ. That was a massive double kill. Really changed the tide of this pistol. Okay, well.
Wow.
Not a whole lot you can do about that one, is there?
Sit down.
Force buy back from 90. That's 3 out of 3 pistols for Furia so far.
Ooh, okay. I'm very curious to see. Are we just rushing mid? CTs, SMGs, charging up the guts. Fallen's going to see a little tip of the head. Didn't spot it. Didn't clock it. Jump scare for Fallen. I mean, he was scared and he was jumping.
Oh, they're into B, but it's a 3v5 disadvantage for Furia. Batten down the hatches, boys. This one's going to be tough.
There's still a lurk.
Especially with Case right on the other side of the map. The bomb's going to get...
He's going to be hard-pressed to kind of contribute if they go quick. That's if. Yuri into apartments, good for the post plant. K-Serato's got 2 exposed bodies. The backstab, perfect. So that advantage squandered. It's gone. Another fight. Yuri wins out onto Max. This retake's fallen apart. Despite their successes in middle, looking like they've held on to this one. Very composed. The aim on display. The fangs with all 5.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, didn't think that lurk was going to have too much to say, but held at bay by the util. Well handled from Fury, even though that's sketchy with the skirmish top middle. It'll have to be the eco now from 9Z. We'll see what they want to chip him with. Some Deagles, some P250s, most likely. And this looks very dangerous, doesn't it? 1:39 on the clock. You find yourself immediately in a 3v5. K-Serato takes his time, lines him up, knocks him down. And then in combination with that util from Yakinda, Yuri will get the job done.
Ooh. We're very quick.
Does he have a hot take or something?
Very quick. He's got places to be.
I thought he was a married man.
Yeah. Taking the boys out for a steak dinner to celebrate the playoffs if they pick this one up.
Yeah, it's quite a few days off. They've got Sunday to round out all of those lower bracket matches. And as you turn your attention to Monday and Tuesday, that's some downtime before the games start up on Wednesday. We'll still have A and B streams for the first couple of days of play. But we will be moving to a much bigger space. And then on the Sunday for the grand final, and the third place decider, I believe, we're going to move to the Acor Arena, which is where the Paris Sweat Major was back in 2023 as they continue to sweep this round. Back at the Major, Yakinda absolutely mauled 9Z on this map, but he had 7 multi-kills, 103. We'll round up, we'll give him 104 ADR. Molotov also playing a factor of that. It's Max. Not finding any resistance with the Deagle. It's just Luchon over towards Ticket, and he's been noted now.
Yeah, Furia, one of the many discussion points is that they are the best example of a team bringing in these imports, breaking what was pure Brazilian roster into what has been a more successful amalgamation of talent.
Yeah, you wonder, does that say more about the talent or about how much the buyouts are in the region? Maybe a little bit of both?
A bit of column A, column B.
Because there are definitely players out there who you would be excited about if you're Furia. There's an Insani, but we know that over there in Brazil, these buyouts can be extraordinary.
Yeah, anyone got a money tree?
Been planting mine year on year. Okay.
Three smoke start, double window, yikes. And you've got Yakinda humbled with a HE. Quick on this, look at this, no way you're ready for that. DGT's down, K-Serato beat the Incendiary. At least there's a trade, there's Wasso, puts him down, but in the meantime, you know the A players were distracted, you start to get Tetris space, and Wasso is booked. Hello?
Thanks for coming.
Can I get more out of this, he asked
surely
himself.
Take him.
It's got a little awkward now. Should be fine to tap him in the side of the head, but he wants more.
No way.
He leaves him. He lets him know. He tells Fallen, he says, there is a man on the fight. I'm going to go and get something extra.
Yeah, he's got the rotations covered off at least, but Molotov also has a full belt of utility. So this is kind of crazy because if he gets caught off guard and loses all of the belt of nades...
They don't have a flash for this fight.
Yeah, but of course they're going to be worried about the window boost. They don't have mid.
Oh, no. Luchov's taking down Molotov, and then the fight comes through.
Molotov, that's a classic overcooking of the pooch right there.
Yeah, that leaves you with a Listerine face. Minty, spicy.
Oh, dear.
Luchov gets him.
He kills Huasa. Sure, he's not to know, but once you make it into jungle and there's no resistance, at that point, you got to be wondering, that's where you like to see players play to contain, but it's a T side, so it's a little bit of a different scenario. That one, we'll see if the frustrations have ramifications. K-Serato, 3 of his 6 kills so far have been in the back, so...
Yeah.
Beautiful double, though, from Huasa. And the thing is, 9Z don't even know that unfolded. They have absolutely no idea. They think, oh, okay, Molotov got boosted window. Fair enough.
Little do they know.
A-pop.
Okay, Huaso's got a test to pass. Oh, and he does. He's even got a chance at another. There's Molotov, though. Takes him down. Exposed on the smoke break, but a missed shot. Whistles past. Man, low HP. Luchov onto Molotov.
Safe plan. Limits post-plant opportunities. Oof, and Yuri's very low now.
What's K-Serato up to in that smoke? Just by burrowing into it, it's going to make things very difficult for this retake. And Mayan's not going further than this.
A couple of smokes, though, on the retake, and there are kits. Remember, it's planted in sight. Yuri is very low.
You're right. Bomb ticking fast. CT, they're going for this. Yuri going to play for one on that low HP. Easy for Luchov. Now they've got to get that kit on the bomb.
Has to be fallen.
Someone's got to hold it. 5 second stick. Just in time. Just in time. Oh my goodness, a heist. Stolen away from Furia. 9Z making a 1-round game.
Okay, that's now 2 very frustrating rounds back to back. You've got the Molotov slip, sure. It felt like they made up for it there. Playing in that post plant, especially with the pace that they went in that round, you must have some assumption if you're going to be hitting the site with a minute 40 on the clock that they are still going to have block utility available. So they've flubbed their lines on this one, Furia. Intensity still in with the buy. Galil's in lieu of 5 AKs. The money's not quite there, but they know that they're still in a good position to humble 9Z, who have a few players with a bit of extra cash. Again, Fallen happy just to take these swings. Dancing in and out of the smoke, back and forth with the flashes.
I think someone just scored.
Yeah, okay.
We've got Rocket League on that main stage right now. Ooh, double up Ram.
Yeah, well,
Yuri gets info.
Yeah, good amount of info. Has to stay alive as well, so that goes both ways. Redeploy of a con smoke, just slowing down the pace our Furia. Got Fallen out towards the top mid box. They've got the bomb down in T-spawn. Two still floating towards B. The bomb picked up now. Window smoke from Molodoy. And con smoke from Fallen. So this will force the breakout from Mayan. We'll see if they're trying to link up Cat. That will keep the B defense of Max and Luchov planted.
He fired a shot, so AWP was A.
He is rotating now. It's an A fake. It's actually going to pull him back.
It's all by design. They've really manipulated the rotation, and Luchov gets caught out. It's just Max up against the world. Fallen down, tracked nicely. That's a good output out of Max. Keeps it level at least, but the bomb will go... Ooh, I say the bomb will go down. Actually, they'll think twice about it with Mayan being spotted out. He can actually throw the incendiary to disrupt. Chose not to, elected not to. Bomb down. Nikinda, safe pathing. Anticipates it's market-centric on this retake, and he's right. The angle of Molodoy there catches out DGT. Wasso, not to be underestimated, though, on the surge. Just looked away. The timing favors Wasso in a large way. They're both hiding out in the apartments. It's Molodoy on a pre-fire headshot. Nothing for Mayan. Can't win this one. Gotta take that expensive weapon into the next. And you won't. Stuck around for something. Leaves with nothing.
Yeah, it's always going to be tough to cross there, but he gets away with the AWP. He could have dropped multiple guns, so that is going to force Bit to take a timeout. If that was 3 consecutive rounds where Furia had an advantage and let it fumble, you have to think that mental's starting to take a bit of a turn.
Yeah, that's like the first kind of band-aid solution to what was a very, like you said, 2 very, very frustrating rounds. A failed trigger discipline play into a true last-second defuse. Right under the noses of Fallen. And Co.
The fake worked perfectly, didn't it? Big control, AU2, catch a player with his back turn.
Good rifle work on Molodoy this round. Made that little work.
We knew that Mayan had cash. They've been able to get out 3 M4s around an AWP. There's one kid, and Max, the B defender, with an MP9.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world then if you can find yourself an opening, which looks like there's collision course set here in mid. Luchov, down to Yakinda. Quick one back, got to get out of there. No, you don't. Stands his ground onto the Fallen swing. A trade attempt from the captain. Results in an advantage for 9Z, trying to keep this just a 1-round game.
Yeah, they're ready for the Yuri lurk, thinking he was going to try and take some space off of that mid-fight.
There we go. Ooh, quick again. The headshots keep coming from the Molodoy rifles. Molodoy starts to probe.
AWP's in a good spot, though.
Just in time, yeah. Mayan is the only man here. And that's exactly what he wanted. Catches the tail end of the ramp assault. Will remove Molodoy, sidelines him. Now just up to the fangs of Furia. K-Serato and Yuri, 17 frags each. Or between them, never mind. Bomb cancelled. Mayan gets another one. Should see a clutch here if, yeah, you don't get double swung. DGT and Max standing and banging from Con. But you have got that 1-round game after all.
And this is how Dust 2 went in the first half.
Yes.
And then it was the last couple of rounds of the half where Furia were able to piece together 3, and then they really run with that momentum. Very, very good work from Mayan under pressure in a lot of these fights.
Serious output on that AWP right there.
Yeah, that could have been the 7th ace of EWC so far, but just one shy. middle, right? You're worried about the cat crawl. You just saw your Kinder run to great success, but it's in through underpass. And now another one of these A fakes. Do they get baited once more?
DGT is so paranoid around this smoke. He's got such a good read of this. They overlooked the corner completely. They thought they'd sold it. Still, though. Oh! Mayan down. Serato through the smoke. Perforates and discovers Luchov. Max was next on the naughty list. Gets caught out by the Diga. Molodoi.
They just need to cover the rotation now, and Fallen can rotate around the world and put this in. So Serato has that covered. He already has 3 in the round. Can it be 4?
He's played it really safe as well.
Ooh, maybe. Aha. I was going to say maybe 2 safe, but Fallen's going back to A. So they've juked him here.
Completely sold it perfectly. All it takes, flashbang. Wasso convinced he's in the right place. Little does he know, the A site is lost. Open plant from Fallen, learned his lesson.
Yeah, when you look at that buy that they came into this round with, the fact that Serato gets that triple kill, right? We're talking pistols around just a couple of rifles here. So,
well, that rifle was put to very good use.
Indeed. But again, they throw the mid-util. You can see the thought process. All right, we can't see window, we can't see con. We're worried about the short scale because the cat smoke. They blow open smokes, they spam through. Then they go, okay, hold up, they're not here. So then you turn to the extremities. You think, are they ready to pop? And then the A fake comes in, which helps your suspicions, but they just weasel through the smoke. And Serato with some very important trade work.
Yeah, it's a nice way to mitigate risk, that. These rounds, especially when there's damage inflicted.
Some good calling from Fallen.
Yeah, definitely.
I think one of the best facilitators in the game for sure. And, well, it's meant to be his final season.
Allegedly.
This one here. Opens the runway for Molodoi, and then they just pull 9Z around the map.
I'm sure Fallen's job feels a lot easier when you've got Yuri and Serato in form.
Oh, for sure. I think for him, he is always going to have Yakinda and Molodoi call their shots.
Yeah.
So
the rest are kind of what? Like, not the supporting cast. That's not the right way to frame it.
I was going to call it like herding cats, but it's not. It's more like herding sheep.
Right.
They're doing what you want them to do.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, it's directing traffic.
Yeah, I see. You got the stop sign, you got the go sign.
Yes. And more often than not, you want to give your players the when Molodoi says, I have this peak, you would like to give it to him. You just need to temper him in certain rounds as they're trying to get tricky over these smokes here on Huasao.
Can't see much.
Now, and again, it's another fakey maneuver. Serato's just walked out onto B, so he should be able to call this clear, and they can rotate over if they'd like. Serato's at bench. Like, what?
Are we leaving?
I don't know. Fallen's put his body on the line so often, and
by cutting noise, they end up going B. This is so bizarre.
But they're all just
like, that 10-second pause was genius, actually, because the entire CT side vacate, and now they're all going to walk into Serato.
How far do they go? Do they keep?
Does he just stay bench?
This is crazy.
I've never seen anything like this. He's going to hear
now
this.
They're noisy.
Here we go, lads. What? Why are we jiggling that?
All right, well, then we'll get themselves an AK.
What the helly? What the heliante is that?
Okay. Well, 6 rounds.
Fallen's having a giggle.
They are outmaneuvering 9Z something cruel right now.
This is the path of least resistance. Oh, he's even taken another out of the equation. DGT, a frustrating death there.
It was actually very important to hold on to that, because if you take a look at their cash now, 3.4, 3.4, 3.8.
So someone's on an MP9.
Right? So it's a suboptimal buy with the loss bonus where it's at, how close some of these rounds have been. You're in the hurt locker right now for your 9Z.
That pause was so bizarre. It was weird for 9Z, I'm sure. He's conditioned them so much that whenever I throw full AX seconds, no one's behind it, or one guy's behind
be real.
it. Yeah, this time Serato's on bench, and they are all there.
And now when you go direct, the rotation's going to be so late. So maybe you want to play forward for info, and that's what they're doing.
Can they keep them dancing? Yes, they can. Dancing to the beat of the Furia fans' drum.
DGT's had a bit of a rough series.
He has a couple of mares. The opening deaths. Another one added to the column there.
6 already on the T side. You're happy with this Furia. You'll take every round you can get, so we'll see how many more you can add to the tally. But down the stretch, 9Z don't win this.
Hang on, Luchev's blinded off, but the support, that's necessary from Mayan. It stops them and enables Luchov to have vision back as, ooh, bell rung, swung, back and forth. 3 on 3. It's 2 on B here, so Keisarato's got his work cut out for him. Not if Molodoi can lend a hand, and it just disintegrates. Woof. Ooh. No one's saying it's the cleanest close from Yakinda, but gets the job done. And yeah, they're doing some serious convincing on this T side.
Yeah. Let everybody know there's more games coming your way today. We've got Spirit versus Big coming up next on the main stream.
It's hard. It's easy to feel kind of rough for Big, huh?
Yeah, you win your opening game.
You did. It was a big one against, was it Aurora?
It was. It was on cash, and I think when you're getting you go into G2 next. All right, I think that was pretty winnable.
Yeah.
They were able to take a map there, but then you drop down to the lower bracket, and because Spirit got upset by GG How, it's like,
I mean, the G2 big game, both of them were probably fighting like it's a major grand final, because no one wants to be in a lower bracket game up against Team Spirit right now.
Yeah, exactly. And in case you're wondering what happens to the loser of this game, they are not eliminated. They will take on the winner of 3D Max versus Magic, which is currently going down on that secondary stream, so you can whack that on as well. As we just have some Deagles here before 9Z can pull out the guns for the final round of the half. Just salvaging what you can, and that's quite the shot from Luchov. All right, the pace towards middle does not reward Keisarado, but Fallen will get his second kill. And it's going to be all 4 through middle for the finish. A 3-man stack from 9Z currently over towards A. It's Luchov. Pick up the B site, and they should just go through the motions to finish this. They've taken the vent room control very early, a minute 25 on the clock. And they are investigating A ramp. They've called sector clear. Guns are being juggled. Not in position to do anything right now.
I love that cam. 10 points to camera operator 1.
Probably J-Raz?
I would hope so. Shout out to J-Raz one time.
So back to A, that there's still a chance in this one.
There is. They're in the trap, and oh, he didn't quite hit that headshot you'd have liked, but Ywaso and Mayan's position now noted, and he's cracked the skull of Fallen. Significant damage on that, but it's getting out of hand fast. Molodoi down to 23, a single bullet, Max bound finds it, and it's all onto Yuri, can't hack it. Ywaso will close it down, they'll leave with some free rifles and a much-needed 4th round.
I think right there, Fury are thinking they'd done enough with that mid-pressure to make it feel like a B-split, but they didn't really get the info, right? They didn't send out a ward to see if it was a stack, they've just walked into it. There's no question that 9Z can shoot some sharp shots on the digs.
Yeah, I know, it must have been, oof, Luchov's shot. But also Luchov's presence on B. He was there just telling the boys, stay where you are, I'm fine.
Oh, they walk away with a bunch of AKs from that. Final round of the half. Can they make it 7-5?
Could be a whole lot more competitive. Ooh, TGT stomachs a double nade combo. Ywaso has removed Molodoi before the round even started, just catches him. It's an audacious fight to be taken as a CT. Straight all the way deep ramp. You can see the X on the minimap there. Looks like they're going to go through the motions to take some of this space away from Luchov. Window and con smoked. Action on the push ramp. Is that Ywaso? Yeah, he's going through this. No one home.
2 through Palace, 2 through Con.
Okay. Mayan, priority is connector. However, no one's covering this Palace walkout. He could be susceptible to just a quick one tap to the side of the head if they go first. Who moves first? Yuri or Yeki?
Keisarado's just smoked jungle. This will
That's
make
enough.
it easier for the Con players.
Yeah, now they know. Informed as well, though. Ywaso tasked with this Palace walkout. Nice find from him. Removes the head of Yuri. Spot onto Yakinda. Doesn't find it cleanly. And Ywaso looking the wrong way, just getting manipulated, overwhelmed. The numbers game. 1 out by Furia. And the numbers looking to read 8-4.
So Fallen's just patrolling the rotation. You think he should have Max dead to rights here. This is so tough for Max. He's worried about vent room. Clearing that out with the U2.
He's not
even
convinced.
more of a tell. Boys, you're going to run out of time.
Ooh, Fallen's mad about that one for sure. Max has made a little bit of a case that they can still do this, and sitting in the opener, sitting duck is Yakinda. Serato manages the angles well. They haven't got the info they needed, and so now all he needs to do is just stop them from touching that bomb. He's covering it nicely. Time check.
It's going to be damn close. It's going to be down to the wire.
Big difference between 8-4 and 7-5. 9Z pull it off.
They've had a couple of nail-biters in that first half. You had the heist in the early stages, and now at the end, they pull off that retake, and you're thinking to yourself, with the bomb planted, with Fallen covering the rotations, that should be Furia's 8th round every day of the week. They've let that one slip through the fingers.
Could you help me out understanding why Yakinda is in the open like that? I'm sure there is a logical explanation for his positioning. I guess just misinfo, perhaps, would be the explanation.
I think there's a level of confidence coming into play there as well, because the time's ticking so far, and you think you have everything covered off. It's
I think probably because for a moment ago, Fallen's had the mid-rotate.
And it's the second time that they've planted in a safe position. That means you can't play the bomb from con. So there were some very frustrating rounds lost in that first half of Furia. They're probably feeling like they could have had a 9-3 half, that they should just be waltzing into the second and getting the job done.
How many riflers are going for that opening gambit? Huaso onto the AWPer. And they did such good work, did Furia. You know, breaching that site, it felt like the writing was on the wall. It should have been over, and I mean milliseconds in it. They pulled it off just in time. Serato just couldn't hang on for that extra second.
Looks like a fast B split. They've already smoked top con and window.
Flash top mid.
Oh, maybe they go through the con smoke. They've got this late piece of Huaso.
They will.
P250 through Palace.
One more where that came from. And in they breach. Molodoy taps one out from the ticket. They've got good positions for this now. Yakinda versus the P250 of Huaso. Too much to ask for.
Oh,
nice work.
crispy.
Good aim, yeah. It's on display. So we can add a frustrating pistol round where you got nothing.
So what we can add, the first pistol for 9Z.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. About time.
Serrano's got some company. How many can he take with him? One and done. Good trade work from Huaso.
He's deadly, isn't he? He's really just on one at the moment.
Right, well, one round gap. I was feeling very comfortable. Furia is starting to get a little bit sweaty. And if they force by now, and they drop this, the ramifications of that will have flow-on effects. It's starting to take shape. Molodoy, he's not going to fully invest with the fort. Oh, I should say that. He has back and forth with his decisions on the buys. They want to make sure they have smokes to corral. 4 Deagles out of 5-7.
It's rare to see a team prioritize the Deagle to such an extent. You know, typically 1 or 2, but 4. Back in their aim. Backing that B site read, Fallen started with extra troops on that side of the map.
Cole looks very good.
Kinder doesn't connect anything on the short walk, but here comes the pincer maneuver. Fallen, the 5-7 gets nothing. The Deagles are keeping us level. Molodoy humbled. Yuri gives himself a smoke to play around. Less susceptible to Mayan on the short side. There is another body there. The smoke makes it weird. Yuri can play around it. There's Yakinda on the edge of the smoke. Easy pick for Mayan over the top. Yeah, a bit of damage, but not enough. Mayan 3 kills. Oh, he didn't have the bullets. That force buy's gone down the Swanee.
So 18 frags deep right now. This man doesn't want it to be done in 2. We're tied up 7 apiece, and as mentioned, if that force falls flat, it now is the eco, and 9Z will be taking the lead, or should be taking the lead, I should say.
Just smiling ear to ear is Huaso. When the game feels like this, when every decision you make, every bullet you fire feels like it's going in the right place.
They're just going to turn this into an A play. There's a bunch of smokes being juggled by Max to set this up. Yeah,
there should be nothing to be said about this one.
So off of a lot of these rounds early, they've constantly been denying middle and connector. On the pistol was deep con that they ran through for the A split, but in the last 2, it's just been the shallow con smoke as the AU2 is in the air. It's a barrage utility that Yuri's going to try and punch through.
Diligence on Luchov, making sure he jumped across the Palace angle. Couple of Deagles unloading through that smoke. Really lovely layering of the util as well there.
Only point of interest is this Fallen flash, and then just a flood of Furia.
How many Mac 10 frags can you get, Luchov? Get some extra cash going. The flash turns, and nothing. Absolutely nothing on the Mac. It's stressful now for Huaso. He's been brought down very low, and does still take just the 1. Are these retrievable is the question.
And if they are you even getting away with them?
looking good now. The frags have come through. Oi! Gets himself a little extra as Yakinda on the low HP player. Finishes off onto Max.
Well, the score at the major was 13-9 in favor of Furia. Both teams looking to show improvements the last tussle, and the third and deciding map of that series was Overpass. Well, that's not in the pool this time round. We'll find ourselves on Nuke if we need to get there, and 9Z making me question why the hell not. Holiday in with the AWP, starting ticket. So feigning mid presence, a quick reroute back to A to group up for the A execute. So have a lot of nades for this. They were very diligent just there against the eco, and it looks to be more of the same right now up against the guns.
Copy paste. Different Molotov variation. And Molodoi just nails it. Didn't panic on the flash. Pulls the trigger onto Luchov. First blood for Furia, but the site now lost. Smoke break does expose Wasso and Palace. Yuri and Keserato are side by side behind these jungle smokes.
They'll be fading now.
Any moment now. Trying to see some coast plant control in CT. The deep smoke will facilitate that. To 5-on-4, but with the bomb now down. How long? Yeah, fading now on the CT. Flash from Molodoi's got to be good. They're going to double swing this. Oh, and the delay from the Molotov. They're going to have to go through it, and he's going to get them while blind. DGT finds the follow-up. Now an equal, even keel flowing nicely for 9Z. Wasso makes these multis look so casual. Up to 21 as 9Z find themselves their 9th.
Yeah, okay, well, putting themselves in pole position to take this map now. So we'll add his 6th multi to the tally at the top of the table. And continuing as Max is very happy with how this is unfolding. Well, they get you the opener, but that's about all you get. Had that second phase. They're handling business right now.
First time out we've seen from Furia. And Sid's making full use of it.
Well, yet to get a round going in this second half of play. It's 6 straight, so the momentum has swung. It's max loss bonus, so there can be some level of investment coming through. As you can see, taking shape on your heads-up display. I suspect 9Z to take a bit of pace out of this one. I say that as they all gravitate towards A. All the smokes again for Maximilian.
Furia do have to demonstrate that they can handle it.
2 MP9s on the balcony. Somewhat threatening. They'll swing.
Yeah, they will, but Luchov looks so ready for this. Yo, doesn't matter. Oh, they nearly get both without a casualty. DGT just the last bullet before he goes down onto Yuri.
They're following through with this.
Yeah, Molodoi is playing a very active AWPing position. Forward position does find Wasso on the edge of the Tetris smoke. Very uncomfortable for May, and he's got the bomb. Does slink back. Doesn't want to overcommit with that bomb and lose the round right there and then. You're in a 2-on-4. As far as the information goes, you know where Keserato and Molodoi were.
So Fallen, if he had all the info that both players there, you could have seen him just charge through and really close the door on this. He stayed over towards the B apartments. He's playing to contain and playing for info, so it's a very tough shot to hit. He can get that info and then get away, and they can rejig the CT setup. Furia looking to get their first round on the CT side with a partial investment. And so you want to get double digits, so Fallen on this line.
This is just for that info.
Turn X-ray off, you'll see just how difficult it is. Ooh.
That's all it takes.
Rotation's coming. The great migration of Furia players are on their way, and that nade lets them know, yeah, we know you're here.
Yeah, let's go. Let's party. Rotation through, 2 in the market side. Fallen even managing to do it on his own. Doesn't need the help, just moral support, I suppose.
Well, a good time for Fallen to find his first multi. He's been relatively quiet,
yeah,
but has been taking a lot of space and was calling up a storm in that first half. A lot of fakes, but yeah, that's got to be a little prep move, right? Because they've swung off the util into the A execute. They've caught the players in Palace with nades in their hands. And now they've put the money of 9Z into question if they lose this one. You've even got DGT with an AK, but Kevlar, no head armor.
I guess less of a problem versus 3 CTs.
They're running
with
out A.
the AK. That's a nice start, but there's still the A side's been such a problem. Ooh, opportunity for Yakinda cut short. Max and Luchov combine. Now Palace successful. Wasso on the low HP. What? He just takes heads. Time after time, he's just guaranteed to fight. What is that? Stray bullet finds Yuri. Serato, can you be the hero? Do something to get Fallen closer to that bomb site. They've got a smoke and a kit.
You gotta save.
Oh, man.
This is a treacherous pass. I think you just got to hold on to this, concede the fact that 9Z continue.
I don't understand where these frags keep coming from. Huasso is so deadly.
All right, just with the money about to be put into question for 9Z, they bounce back. They get to 10 first. Furia, because they won on the lighter buy, there is extra cash. So a gun can be dropped across to Yuri. And they will have a full gun round. Thank you very much to the loss bonus. So this is going to start to force you to play heavier towards A like you did on that partial buy, right? Are you going to want to just challenge A ramp early, right? At this point, then other parts of the map become weaker. Do they channel through mid? Do they just go for a knockout blow, execute over towards B? Where do you sacrifice the defense? As Yanko says, you can't be strong everywhere. So you're going to have to pick your poison right now if you're Furia, and his A site has felt very susceptible.
Yeah, they tried that double Palace MP9 push.
That's it. You're not going to go for the same move in a gun round, right? So you're going to have to go for something a little bit more. Holiday looks like he's taking the AWP towards A again. This could be the pair up towards ramp with Yuri just to get that control. But I also think at the pace a lot of this is happening. Take a look. The round is feeling like it's over at a minute 25.
Yeah, full blind.
9Z are essentially calling out this A side defense.
Yeah, they are. Even when they find the opening kill, like your AWPA ticket gets the first and then the retake's impossible still. Must feel really funky for Furia right now.
DG2 will report they've just blocked B immediately, right? And this is actually going to have Fallen press up behind it. But they've already expended that smoke immediately, right? It wasn't a jump spot and then we dropped the util and play it defensively. That makes you feel like, okay, if they want to block so early, are they trying to make a move elsewhere? As we can see with the radar, it's relatively passive hold from the CTs. Two burrowed in the back of the B site. It's Yakinda who's going to be on the jump spot. They're foregoing window control. They're going to let them jump up if they'd like. So the pressure point for me at the moment is likely Yuri, who's trying to play in tandem with this Molodoi triple box setup. Fallen to get flashed into this.
DGT starting his swing. Fight trade immediate. And you're blocked. 45 seconds. You don't really want to be running through a grey screen.
Well, keep your eyes on this from Max.
It's everything right now. Is he going to catch Molodoi? Molodoi. Oh, down. Long range from Max. Yes, it did. For the whole pack.
They're going to pivot through underpass. They've got the rotation covered off. Yeah, heaps of time.
Come on.
Yeah, don't you worry about that. This is 11 on a silver platter, and you have to save right now, Yakinda and Serato.
That kill from Max is everything.